Reading Srimad Bhagavatam 429-68. Sarva krama anurodena manasindriya gocharaha ayanti bhausho yanti sarve samanossu janaha. Sarve, all, krama anurodena, in order of chronology. Manasi, in the mind. Indriya, by the senses. Gocharaha, experience. Ayanti, come. Bahusaha, in many ways. Yanti, go away. Sarve, all. Samanusaha, with a mind. Janaha, living entities. Translation: the mind of the living entity continues to exist in various gross bodies, and according to one's desire for sense gratification, the mind records different thoughts. And the mind disappears together in different combinations, therefore these images sometimes appear as things never seen or never heard before. Please respond. The mind of the living entity continues to exist in various gross bodies, and according to one's desires for sense gratification, the mind records different thoughts. And the mind disappear together in different combinations. Therefore, these images sometimes appear as things never seen or never heard before. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The activities of the living entity in the body of a dog may be experienced in the mind of a different body. Therefore, those activities appear never to have been heard or seen. The mind continues, although the body changes. Even in this lifespan, we can sometimes experience dreams of our childhood. Although such incidents now appear strange, it is to be understood that they are recorded in the mind. Because of this, they become visible in dreams. The transmigration of the soul is caused by the subtle body, which is the storehouse of all kinds of material desires. Unless one is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, material desires will come and go. That is the nature of the mind, thinking, feeling and willing. As long as the mind is not engaged in meditation on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the mind will desire so many material enjoyments. Sensual images are recorded in the mind in chronological order, and they become manifest one after another. Therefore, the living entity has to accept one body after another. The mind plans material enjoyment, and the gross body serves as the instrument to realize such desires and plans. The mind is the platform onto which all desires come and go. Srila Narottam Das Thakur therefore sings, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kariya Akhya Arana Karibhya Mane Asha. Narottam Das Thakur advised everyone to stick to the principle of carrying out the orders of the spiritual master. One should not desire anything else. If the regulated principles ordered by the spiritual master are followed rigidly, the mind will gradually be trained to desire nothing but the service of Krishna. Such training is the perfection of life. Omagyanatimirandasya ginanam gina shlakaya chakshuzan militam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Satpitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamam Didati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajim Shadvitam Shavadutam Prajanam Saitam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaganvitam Shyam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Ganchana Gurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hare Pri Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Samiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much for joining in our Srimad Bhagavatam class 429-68. 68. So you can see how Narada Muni is again more substantiating the position of the mind. It is I think it's a fabulous recorder. I think we got our recording thing done only when, no? I remember when I was a small boy, I think we had this cinema, yeah? Correct? We had this Mika, you know, do you? I don't think you are born then. You don't know what I'm talking about. It's Mika, you know. It is, you know, that little gramophone, you know. You turn, you know, and this one dog is there in the picture. Have you seen that? That the big speaker is one speaker is there. Remember, and then one needle, you know, it goes. So that sound was recorded in that Mika, you know. And when you turn, and then the thing will go round, and then the music will come. You know, right? My father used to have that, you know. And all the neighbors will come there to hear the music. Then it graduated, you know. Yes, from that it went to some kind of a magnetic tape. They could store pictures. You know, it was a breakthrough. They used to call it the talkies. In India they call it silent movie. Yeah? And when they could talk, they call it talkies. You know, they call it Naurang talkies or something, Bangalore. I was there in Bangalore, so that I was wondering why they call this movie house talkies. See, the movie could talk, and there, see how they. Yeah. So then the movie came into the magnetic tape, yes? Yeah? And from that magnetic tape, I remember it was, reel, you put a reel and then you record inside there and then you zoom into a big screen, that's how we watch the movies, you see. So we were staying in one housing area once a month or what, they give us a treat, They have a big screen and then they show this. So everybody will go there to the field and sit down and watch the movie. Did you do that? No. I was a very young boy at that time. Then it went on to a TV, the cathode tube, this beaming of the electron, then a black and white picture. So that was again another breakthrough. And then they were showing black and white movies, and we were wondering how could color come inside this? And sure enough, they put color also inside. Yes? The history of how, in my life I saw this whole thing. Then it went to TV, it became flat screen, no more the, Then computers came, and you could, you have this small little drive, what do you call that? Floppy disk, huh? Yes? To put it inside and record and you can do work and so many things. And then they had this after that they had this VCR. Correct? The big cassette, have you seen that? Huh? It was recorded there, yes? And then it went from that to disc. Yes? What do you call it? Disc drive. Huh? What? CD. And then from there, now CDs I don't see any more CD drives. Yes? Now is what? All inside your hard drive. Correct? Yes? See how our technology is grew, Now we are very proud, no? Correct? Yes? But little do we realize that all this stuff already available through our mind. See how advanced Krishna is. No need to have a disk drive in our head and all this stuff. Yes? The mind is so powerful that anything you put in front, it will record. It will. And our drives has got limited storage capacity. Correct? Yes? But our mind, infinite storage capacity. Correct? Not only this life, millions of lives it has got the information. Perpetually. See how subtle this whole recording. Recording means what? Not just like our recording only one dimension, correct? Is it not? Can you record your smell? Can you record your taste? Possible? Technology has not come to that stage, yes? But our mind, it can record the taste, it can record what? Everything. Yes or not? Like Prabhupada explained, in the dream you have a relationship with the opposite sex and then there's discharge. But there's not there. Physically there's nothing there, yes? But you see how the mind, you follow? You see how Amazing, Krishna has made this mind of ours. Don't you think so? Huh? That's why he says, earth, water, fire, air, ether. What is that? Mind, intelligence and force field. These are my separated. No technology can come anywhere close to such a, to make such an instrument. And it's on top of that, all these things are physical. You have to see, you have to touch, you have to record, all. But this thing you cannot see. Even more amazing, you cannot even see the mind. Correct? And is storing everything. How you can store something when you don't see? Possible? Possible? Nothing there and is recording. Correct? See how the whole thing is engineered by Krishna. That it's amazing. His material energy of his is also very amazing. Not only that you got the mind, you also got intelligence. Not only you got intelligence, you also got what? False ego. Okay? And this goes with you or is going with us perpetually. Correct? The same mind, same intelligence and same ego. Correct? So it has been coming with us and going on and going on and going on and going on. Recording so many desires. That's another amazing thing. Recording what? Desire. The mind is the chief, as Prabhupada writes, the chief ingredient to record not only information, it also records desires. Who can create something like that? You can. As I explained how we evolved to find out the music, the sound, the light, the color, this, that, correct? And we are very proud. At that time we had this one, Sony Walkman. I don't think you know. The Sony Walkman, wow, everybody is so big, You can kill someone with that. And you have to put your earphone, and earphone is like a, the size of the, it's such a big earphone, covering your whole face. Remember? Yes? Yeah, how this thing evolves. Just to come to the point of recording some sound or some light and sound. But here Krishna has created an organ that records the light, the sound, the thoughts, the what? Feeling, willing, thinking, tasting, everything. That's why this mind is the most important ingredient in this body. And that is something that you can manipulate. There's only one organ that you are given facility to manipulate. You cannot manipulate intelligence. You cannot manipulate your false ego. You understand? You can only manipulate your mind. And Krishna has given that facility because, why? Because of what? Free will. Because of free will. Either you want to surrender or you don't want to surrender. That is all. The free will is only on this dimension. It's not that free will to go, do weird stuff. No. Whether you want to surrender or you don't want to surrender. A choice. And if you surrender, yes, everything is adjusted. You don't want to surrender, then all these material desires will come what? They will what? Pop up. The desires will keep popping up. You understand? There is no control. And one desire lead to another desire, because the more you are in a mode of passion, then these desires will they will come up more. Yes? Mind is like roving, Wow. Have you seen somebody, especially children, a classic example, they cannot sit still. Why? Because their mind is what? Roving. He wants this, he wants that. Have you seen some children, they want to eat, they want this, they want that, they want everything. No control. Or people who are crazy, they also have same the symptom, They have you seen? Correct? No control. Correct? You see how the mind is just one thing after another thing after another thing. And not only that, it is also bringing out something that you did in your previous lives. Like here Narada Muni is giving the example, right? Whatever you did previously, it is recorded and is playing back. You understand? The desire. And that desire is overwhelming, you have no control. See, without your what? Without you wanting to, it forces on you. Yes. Especially in the night, maybe when you wake up you have some control, but when you are sleeping, totally no control. Can you control? Not possible. See how the mind is such an element that is so powerful. And this mind, if it is uncontrolled, it will bring about more and more attachment materially. When a person engages the senses, then what happens? Immediately attachment comes. Yes? When the person is engaging the senses on the sense object, attachment develops. Yes? Correct? And when the attachment is intensified, then other elements come in. See? You see here, this is what I explain here in the point here. The mind is the root cause of lust, anger, pride, greed, lamentation, illusion and fear. So you go and let the mind rove uncontrollably. Then the mind is the root cause of primarily what? Lust. Same thing also said in the Bhagavad Gita, no? What is that? Dayato Vishaya Pumsam. Correct? Bhagavad Gita 262, right? Then what? What happened? Sangha Vijayate. Sangha Sanjayate Kama. Correct? There, Kama. And Kama go to Krodha, go to, what is this, pride? What is pride in Sanskrit? What is it? Mother. Pride is mother. Mother is. And then lamentation, illusion and fear. Combine this constitute bondage to fruitive activity. Understand? This is not liberation. This is what? Bondage to fruitive activity. What learned man would put faith in this mind? So try to understand how this is all engineered. Eh? That you cannot what? How to come out of this? How to purify the mind? Can you tell me by sloka, how you purify the mind? What? How? How do we get out of this entanglement? How? What is your 5:11:17? Yes. Only by surrendering to Krishna. The whole thing is designed in such a way that unless you come to Krishna, there is no question of escaping this bondage. No possible. It is not. Next verse you see. So here Rishabdev is showing how he acted in such a way that he practiced this system of trying to become detached, Actually the verse was before. In this verse you see, in this verse, an unchaste woman is very You understand this point? Huh? If the person does not control the mind and get it completely attached to Krishna, then this mind will give a lot of headache. Jai Shri Radha. That's why it is explained that we have three kinds of what? Kleshas, correct? One is by whose mind? Our mind. The second is by other people's mind. And third by the demigod's mind. So three people are giving all kind of, and is all the base is on the mind. You understand? That's why Krishna told very clearly, Arjuna, you try to control your mind. Your mind can be your best friend or the worst enemy. Correct? So, the only way to get the mind is to engage the mind in the service of the Lord and the spiritual mind. There's no other way you can do this. There's no. You can keep trying for millions of years. If you don't engage the mind in the service of the Lord, then it's not going to work. It cannot work. Yes? So this is our advantage. Our advantage is that we have got Guru and we have got Krishna. It is not that you bring your mind to Guru and Krishna and everything is over. The real thing is to develop their mercy. Only by their mercy that this can happen. It's not so straightforward, Okay, I have got Guru and I have got Krishna and that's it. Huh? No, it is Krishna is not a fool, That you have to actually what? Do some austerity. If you want to change this situation, then austerity has to be done. Correct? Yes? Of course, Krishna says very simply, you try to engage in my service. Whatever you do for me, correct? Yes or no? So when we do everything for Krishna, the advantage by doing this tapasya, our mind will get purified of all this contamination. You understand? This contamination has to go. In order to get the, Krishna says, in the Bhagavatam, correct? 1 to 17, is it? Huh? The Krishna says here, in this verse, Sundvata Swagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridyantastoya Budrani Vidunoti Shruvat Satam. So Krishna says here, Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the Paramatma Super Soul in everyone's heart. And the benefactor of the truthful devotee cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of a devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous and properly heard and chanted. So this is the recourse, that we have to learn how to glorify the Lord. The moment we glorify the Lord, is this here? Cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of a devotee who has developed the urge to hear his message, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. That's why the chanting is so powerful. The chanting is very, very powerful. The more we chant and hear, then Krishna sitting in our heart, he cleanses this desire, He cleanses the desire that is lodged in our heart since time immemorial. Okay? And here, you see, Krishna is saying this verse, is another very important verse. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Uddhava, the Supreme Lord gives life to every living being and is situated within the heart along with the life air and primal sound vibration. The Lord can be perceived in a subtle form within the heart of one, within the heart by one's mind. See this point here? The Lord is sitting in the heart. You can connect with Him by sound, vibration. See? Since the Lord controls the minds of everyone, even great demigods like Lord Shiva, the Supreme Lord also assumed the gross form as the various sounds of the Vedas composed of short and long vowels and consonants of different intonations. So you see that chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, through the chanting, you can connect with the Lord in the... And when you connect to the Lord in the heart, then the Lord will help us control the... Very scientific, you understand? This sound vibration, chanting Hare Krishna, most powerful. At the moment we chant, then with the help of the Lord, then this crazy mind which is giving us trouble for millions of lifetimes becomes subdued. So you see, now you know why we are asked to chant. Even meditation also, usually when you meditate you are supposed to chant Om. Correct? When they Om, because Omkara is also sound vibration connected with the Lord. But of course that's very difficult to do in Kali Yuga. The best method is to chant Hare Krishna. But when we chant Hare Krishna, then you see here what the Lord said. The Lord controls the minds of everyone, even great demigod like Lord Shiva. We are bigger than Lord Shiva? Is it? No. So therefore, the method of trying to control the mind is nothing but calling on the... And chanting Hare Krishna is very effective. That's why even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, correct? You know what he said? Very quickly, correct? See? I've quoted this verse so many times. All the dirty things in the heart get wiped out. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can get freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord The connection with the Lord is the only medicine to get us free. There's no other way. Because you know the famous verse, Harinam, Harinam, huh? Harinam eva kevalam kalau nasteva, nasteva, nasteva. No other way. Yesterday I read this, right? Huh? So the mind is there giving us headache, and we are getting attracted to love. The question was asked, you know, how we control lust yesterday, right? Boy, 21 years old only. He's going to the college, you know, and he's getting disturbed. He's supposed to go to the college to get what? Enlightened, right? He is going to college and he is full of anxiety. Huh? What is this? So you see how this mind is equal to, if not controlled, what? Even though you are controlling, don't think that if you are controlling, the lust will never come. No. As you can see in the example of Yamunaja Acharya, say wherever I think of lust, I speed up the thought, my mouth curl in this stage, and I speed up the thought. So why this is happening? On one side they get overwhelmed, and here it comes, but he is what? Detached from it. Why there's two examples? Why? Because here is Krishna conscious, and here is not Krishna conscious. The moment a person gets into lust, he forgets Krishna. See? You understand? This is explained here in this verse. The moment the mind gets into the lust program, then he gets overwhelmed. He cannot see the Lord, no? Why is that? See here, this is explained here in this verse. My Lord, you are the supreme well-wishing friend of everyone, the dearmost friend, the controller, the super soul, the supreme instructor, and the giver of supreme knowledge and the fulfillment of all desires. But although you are within the heart, the foolish, because of lusty desires in the heart, cannot understand it. In other words, if you maintain this lusty platform, then you cannot. You understand? You understand this point? That's why that famous verse, you know, what is that? Kama dinam kati katita, what is that? 22? Right? 22? 16? So you see here, this example is this, that when you have lust, then there's no way you can get God in your heart. That's not possible. But here you see, the Lord is, this is a very important verse. It's from the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. My Lord, there's no limit to the unwanted orders of lusty desire. This is exactly the point, yes? There's no limit. What? It burns like, the more you put ghee into the fire, it burns like what? Without any stoppage, correct? Although I have rendered these desires so much service, they have not shown any mercy to me. I am not ashamed to serve them, nor I have even desired to give them up. Oh my Lord, you see this? I am not ashamed to serve them, and I have even desired to give them up. That's how lust is. When you get into lust, you get caught. You follow this point? Oh my Lord, oh head of the Yadu dynasty, recently, however, my intelligence has been awakened. This is a very important point. How does intelligence get awakened? How does intelligence get awakened? Although I have no desire to give up, I am engrossed in this lusty platform. How did I get this awakening? Due to transcendental intelligence. Due to transcendental, in other words, the consciousness can be only awakened up by the mercy of Krishna giving us this transcendental knowledge. And that can only come by association with a pure devotee. I now refuse to obey the unwanted orders of this desire. Now he is giving up. First he said, I don't want to give up. But awakening, then he said, no, I don't want to. See? So this awakening is very important. I now come to you to surrender myself at your fearless lotus feet. Kindly engage me in your personal service and save me. You see the lust, if you get caught, you are finished. You cannot come out. By association with the pure devotee, he gives that transcendence. By serving him, Krishna gives the realization, the intelligence, how to become materially detached from this lust. There's no other way. You cannot try to overcome lust by any other method. That's not possible. That's not. There's another verse, Krishna says, by meditating on the past tense, vikridintam. What is that? 10? What? Disease of the heart. This lust is called what? The disease of the heart, What is that? 10? 33, 39. See this verse here? Hrit rogam. Kamam hrit rogam. See that? Kama material lust is the disease of the heart. Anyone who faithfully hears or describes the Lord's playful affairs with the young gopis of Vrindavan will attain the Lord's pure devotional service. And thus, he will quickly become sober and conquer lust, the disease of the heart. So again, coming in contact with Krishna. So this lust program is the offshoot of the mind. You understand? Yesterday I quoted the verses, 11, 14. How meditating on the sense object will get us implicated. By meditating on Krishna, we get free.
27.
Of course, there are so many ways to explain this lust. The whole Bhagavatam is so many chapters. You also have got the Pingala there. You have also got, what is his name? King. You know what is his name? The one who became a goat. Yadu. Yeah? Yadu? What's his name? He married Sukracharya's daughter. Huh? Yayati, yes. Right? Then you also have got some of who? What's his name? Urvasi? Pururava. Then you got some of, what's his name? The one meditated underwater. What's that? Huh? Saubari. Some of you have who? Huh? Practically whole Bhavan. Ajamil, another one. Fell down because of what? Lust. Yes? So many examples. So many. What to speak of all of them? We are not example. We are the worst example, still falling. Correct. They have fallen down and gone back to Godhead. We are falling and still falling. So therefore, we have to sober up and try to understand our problem. And the solution is also given that we take up the method very seriously. And that's it. Control the mind. And it's possible. It's not impossible. By what? Service to Guru and Krishna. Then yes, the mind can become something. That's it. Prabhupada said in the purport, no? By doing this service every day, then the mind will become purified. But if you do intermittently, today do, tomorrow don't do, like this, then it's very difficult. Yes, regular, what is that? Mamcha Abhyacharena Bhakti Yogena Saguna Samitayata Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. So we must learn how to do this regularly, We are dealing with a very formidable enemy. Don't think this mind is your good friend. This is the biggest problem we are making. We are thinking that our best friend is who's our best friend? Actually, our mind is the worst enemy. Worst. Prahlad Maharaj said that. Prahlad Maharaj said that. You see what he said? He's talking to his father. He said this to his father. Prahlad Maharaj continued, my dear father, please give up your demonic mentality. Do not discriminate in your heart between enemies and friends. Make your mind equiposed toward everyone, except for your uncontrolled mind. Except for the uncontrolled and misguided mind, there is no enemy in this world. When one sees everyone on this platform of equality, one then comes to the position of worshipping the Lord perfectly. You understand? The real enemy is who? Except for the uncontrolled and misguided. He used two words here. Uncontrolled and misguided mind. There is no enemy within this world. There is no? Yes? Correct? So try to think who our real enemy is. Who is our real enemy? Our mind. Our mind is the real problem. So if we have any problem, it is all due to our other people's mind, or the demigod's mind. Three ways we always get problem. As long as we are in the material world, there is no question of trying to be Krishna. Only if you take shelter of Krishna. That's it. Understand? So this is highly recommended. No, if you have any difficulty, you must know the cause of this difficulty. The cause of? Immediately you can tell what happening. Yesterday one man came. Oh, I say, how is this person? Oh, his wife is going through severe depression. I said, why your wife is going through? Not his wife, somebody else. Why? What happened? Oh, Then I quickly took out the verse, 11:25, 2. And there, once you go into the mode of ignorance, they will go into depression. Immediately. See? So she's not religious, she doesn't like to pray to God. I said, this is a solution. If you don't pray to Krishna, if you don't surrender to Krishna, then what? You will not suffer. You think Krishna will let you enjoy the material world? Think, he's such a fool. He's such a fool. He created everything for you to have one rosy time. Is that the fact? Is that a fact? No. My material energy is difficult to overcome. Has no pleasure. Dukkhalayam, this is what? Why he can make this sukhalayam more? Why he doesn't want to do that? Because you cannot take advantage of him. Either you surrender or you suffer. Which you prefer? Which you? Actually this verse I was kind of very, this verse, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam, right? Yes? You are giving to Krishna, right? And you think, you don't give, Krishna will die. No? If he doesn't get his 3 meals, he will die. No? Actually, no. It is explained that you are giving because of our purification. It is because of... Yes, so this verse, Prahlad Maharaj quoted this verse. 7, 9, 11. You see this? Yeah, very interesting. Prabhupada making a point here. Actually, this word here, Prabhupada was giving this word. This word here. This word here. So here, it said in the translation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always fully satisfied in himself. Therefore, when something is offered to him, the offering by the Lord's mercy is for the benefit of the devotee. For the Lord does not need service from anyone. To give an example, if one's face is decorated, the reflection of one's face in the mirror is also seen to be decorated. Right? So in other words, when you offer things to Krishna, you get purified, correct? It is for our... Now what if you don't give? What if you don't give? What if you don't want to do? What if you don't want to do? Prabhupada translate this. You see here? One who does not dedicate everything to the Supreme Lord is described in this verse as avidusha, a rascal. See how Prabhupada translates? In other words, if you don't want to do, or don't want to surrender, then what are you going to become? A rascal. Isn't it? Correct? Huh? You see how the whole idea that you cannot try to be independent away from the law. It's not possible. And you're going to go into a lot of problems. If you want problems, then go ahead. Right? So please, try to control our mind. Please wake up in the morning and start chanting. Morning is the best time to chant. Of course you can chant any time of the day, but if you chant in the morning, then you get so much of purification. If you don't chant in the morning and you try to chant other times, then chanting will become a little bit, I would say, inattentive, because there's so many actions going on, your mind will get distracted. Alright, I think I explained this at length. So whether you want to be a rascal or you want to be a saint, which you prefer? A saintly rascal. Which you prefer? Tell me. Better to be a rascal saint. Yes, surrender to Krishna. Yes, any questions on this point? So take note that you are not dealing with a lightweight element in our head. The mind is our worst enemy. Right? Anybody has any questions like that? No questions. No questions, huh? All right, we stop here. Thank you very much.